Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Denichez, and in this episode I'm going to share you about how to build a Minecraft sugarcane farm. As you can see in the side there is sugarcane farm automatic one, and I'm going to tell you about how to make this one. So let's just do it. First you need an area of 4 width and long and 6 in height, and means that you can build this farm as far as you can, as you want. And yeah, in this example I'm going to show you the 4 by 8, and it will have 6 blocks high, with the 2 of the blocks will be down in underground. After you dig these holes, now you need to put this one right here, two rows of redstone block and 2 rows of powered rails. Also some rails in the far end so that the minecart can turn easily. Next, you need to put 2 rows of water and 2 rows of dirt. The water right here will make this dirt be able to be planted using sugar canes. And yeah, you need to be careful while you put the water since there is rails down here. Also, yeah, you need dirt for the place of the sugar canes. Next step is then to plant the sugar cane right here, of course, in the middle, and you can cover the water down here with some building blocks, any blocks you can use. And for the fourth layer you need to put 2 rows of piston. Each of the piston need to face inside. This will break the sugar cane so that it can be taken the items. Next, for the fifth layer you need to put some 2 rows of observers, and the face of or the observing side needs to face upward, and the redstone output facing down or facing into these pistons right here. And the final layer you need to put 2 rows of observers, I'm sorry. You need to put 2 rows of observers in the outside layer, each of these facing inside. So this observer right here facing this side, and this observer right here facing this side. And you need to add another rows of observers, all of this facing down. And that's it. That's all that you need to make for the sugarcane farm. And yeah, if you want to hear more, I will continue. If you think that this is enough, then thank you so much for watching. Next is the collection system. Once the sugarcane right here got detected by the observers, it will then be activated, this observer right here, because there is a change of blocks right here. So this will be activated, and this observer right here will see that this observer right here is activated and have a change of block state. So this observer will be activated, and same as this one right here will detect that this observer is activated, so it will release an signal, a redstone output towards the piston. Then the piston will break this sugarcane right here, and the sugar canes on top of that sugarcane. For example, like this, if I put the sugarcane right here, then just like that, it got detected by this observer and activated this piston and break the sugarcane. Yeah, and the collection system is actually pretty simple. You just need to add minecart with hopper right here. Then you need to add switch if you want this to be able to be switched on and off. So if I turn this off, then the minecart will stop at this block. So yeah, then you can add hoppers underneath facing this side and getting inside the chest. Of course, this is optional. You can do anything like dropper clock or water elevator for items so that the chest can be up here, etc. etc. Or you can just use hoppers to connect everything if you want to build this more than one. And also, yeah, this one module right here is stackable. It means that you can put a copy of this module right here and place it directly next to the site and it will be working as fine. Or you can put it up there and going up, or even in this side, as I said in the beginning, you can build this as far as you can. The limit is only your render distance. Next, I will just turn this off and I will deliver some important notes. The first thing is you can put this right in the surface if you want this to be high, but again this high is 6 blocks high, so you might not want to have this really tall if you want to build something nice. Next is this one right here. It has some important notes. One, if you don't like the sound of water, you can make it source block just like this. It can be planted if you just put one water and let it flow over there. Even if this block only has small amount of water, this can still be planted for sugarcane. But if you don't like the sound of flowing water, then you can make it source block just like this and it won't make any sound. Except if, yeah, splashing just like that, it will make sound of splashing. Next is right here, this important note. Sugarcane does not need light to grow. Yes, you hear that. So you can make this entire farm like dark. It doesn't need any light. But in that building over there, I put some light so that it's not uh, just a dark place. Also, sugarcane doesn't have collision hitbox so that I can move in the sugarcane easily. And I haven't checked yet if mobs could actually spawn inside this farm. So yeah, it's better to have the lights. In this example, I use beacon as light. If you don't know, beacon actually emit like the highest level of light. It's actually wider than a single torch. And yeah, for this side, I make this like 3 observers. I know that this is actually expensive question mark, but not really, since observer only need one quartz, and quartz ore can be mined using fortune and you can get multiple of them, so this is not actually that expensive. One plan using 3 observers. And yes, this is actually compatible since the observers that released in 1. I don't know, 1.11 or something, I don't remember. And it can be used in 1.16 and above too. Or if you want to change this a little bit, you can just put one observer facing down and one observer in the side in this block facing upward, and you can put redstone dust on top of this. Then if this is activated, it will then activate the redstone dust, and this observer will detect that the redstone dust is activated and will emit redstone dust. And you can remove this observer with a rows of redstone dust so that if this is activated, the redstone dust will active, then will be activated and break the sugar canes. Of course, this is only able in 1.16 and upward, since before 1.16 you can't actually put redstone on the side without breaking it. Now that it's fixed and in 1.16 you can do that, or you can just use one rows of observer right here facing inside, so that if it is there is sugarcane right here, it will then be activated. But you need to add a rows of blocks with redstone dust right here to activate the piston. You can do that too, but for this farm I really like this design more, since this is compact. If you add the redstone dust, then it will be another layer right there that can be used. And if you put the redstone dust behind this, then this will be even, wider in the side and put in the side too. And yeah, this will be empty and the upper side will be empty, which is a waste of space. So yeah, I like this design more, since this is only 4 width and 6 blocks high. Next thing I want to show you is actually the recipe of the sugarcane farm. It's actually simple. All you need is 16 dirts. Actually, not only dirt, you can also use grass blocks, potzols, coarse dirt, sand or red sand, and the sugarcane will still be growing just fine. Then you need 2 buckets of water, again one in the side and one in the side. And also you can make infinite water source, right, using only 2 buckets of water. Next is of course the sugar canes itself. You need 16 of this in this example, since it has 2 times 8 long, so 16. Then you need the same amount of piston for each of the sugar cane, which is 16 too. Then the observer need is triple 48. You can cut that, as I said earlier, into 32 or only 16, but I prefer this. It's not really expensive at the cost of space is more valuable. Next is, this is just for the collection system. You need lever to switch on or off the rails. Then you need 3 redstone blocks to power the powered rails. Then you need hoppers to collect the items, and another rails to fill in all the gaps of the rails. And you need some chests, and the last is minecart with hopper. Of course you need that. And yeah, that is all for the farm itself. Now you can, after you build these modules, you can like cover it so that it looks like a house or something like that. And you can fit in this building right here in your village, and it will look just fine. And it won't look ridiculous, since and obvious that this is actually a farm. You need to cover all the modules. Like you can make a shell of building blocks. In this case I use these oak planks and dark oak logs as the foundation. Then you can add some roof up above here, and instead of placing torches, you can just use slabs to prevent mobs from spawning. And also you can add like some chimneys or something like that. And in the sides you can put some slabs with on top of that some pots of flowers. Then you can add some lanterns, banners, and these trapdoors to make it looks like the walls. It's not really just a plain walls, just like that. Then you can see that the uh, what's this light source block that I placed earlier, so that it can make the place look brighter. Actually I will show you. I will set the time to midnight and see how this looks. You see, this looks amazing, since it has light so that it's not dark compared to if it's not using any light source blocks just like that. It looks good. And yeah, now I will just change it to day. And just like that, now yeah, I think that's all the information that really you need to know anyway to make the sugarcane farm. Since zero thick sugarcane is now not able to be used again, I think everyone will use the old and traditional, farm like this. And yeah, I hope this helps everyone. And yeah, until someone actually managed to find some bugs to be used for farming the sugar canes. But until then, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next tutorial or how to video in the how to series. Goodbye.